Hey everybody, welcome back to Keeping It Real in the Kitchen. I'm Candace Cole. Thanks for joining me for this quick tip. You may have some fresh herbs of your own at home. Well, maybe that's why you're watching, or maybe you want to grow some. Now, my mom got me these for Christmas. She was watching my how to cook a crock pot chicken noodle soup, which is an awesome video, and you'll meet Stanley, so watch it. And I was like, oh, I wish I had some rosemary. And she's like, here you go, honey, Merry Christmas. There was other gifts as well. But most importantly, I have kept these alive since Christmas, and they have continued to grow, which means I have to do something with them because it's not every day that I'm using basil or rosemary or mint. But I like them and they're so cute and they're still alive. Over a month now, just about a month. Okay, less than a month, but that's good, that's weeks. And if you put that into hours, I'm impressed with myself. So, this is a great quick tip, let's get to it. What you need is some fresh herbs. As you can see, I have mine here. We're also gonna use ice cube trays, some oil, and some water for the mint because oil and mint, that's weird. And you also need either plastic wrap or I'm gonna be using some press and seal because I don't have any plastic wrap, but I'm in love with press and seal, so don't tell my husband. Let's move on. What you need to do first is get whichever herbs you are using and prepare them. So what we're gonna do first is just pick one of our herbs. I'm gonna start with the basil. And we're gonna prepare it, so we're gonna chop it up. If you haven't seen my quick tip on how to you prepare basil, like chop basil easily, you should check that out, because that's what I'm gonna do and I'm not gonna show you. Evil, I know. How much you use is up to you. Whatever you wanna put in there, whatever you need to store, you can, if you like a lot of oil and basil, like a lot of flavor, you're gonna wanna put a lot in there. Just common sense here. Throw the dirt on the floor where it belongs. Now, in between prepping each of the herbs, I am gonna wash my hands because, I don't know, herbs are so smelly. It's gonna get on the other one. And then I don't want my basil to smell like my rosemary, although rosemary and basil do go well together. But basil and peppermint, not a fan of that combo. So up next we have our rosemary. Now what we're gonna do with rosemary is we're gonna grab a stalk of it, try to get it towards the bottom. We're gonna hold it at one end, the opposite end from where it's growing. Don't just pull the top off, that wasn't very strong. And we're gonna pull down to try to strip all the leaves off, just like that. Boom, almost. Top came off, bottom didn't, there we go. You can cut them smaller if you want to, but you can leave the leaves whole in the rosemary as well. But for the peppermint, we're just gonna use whole leaves. Now you can cut these up if they're too big. You can just use the small ones if you want little ones. We're just gonna pick it, just like picking fruit, vegetable, I don't know, just pick some. You can use the peppermint cubes in iced tea. You can use the peppermint cubes in water. You can use the peppermint cubes in other things that peppermint cubes would taste good in. Spearmint gum. What was that one? I don't know why I keep thinking of old commercials lately. Double your pleasure, double your fun, double your fun with enjoyment with peppermint gum. Double your pleasure, double your fun. That's the statement of the great mint in double mint gum. You're like, how does this quick tip take 10 minutes? Welcome to Keeping It Real in the Kitchen, where I talk about a lot of things unrelated to what we're doing. That's why you're back, that's why we're having fun. All right, our herbs are all prepared. We're gonna start by putting those in first. You can fill up about half of each ice cube tray with the herbs. Again, depending on how much you think you're going to use is what you need to use. If you are like, I love a lot of herb, a lot of flavor, I do. I'm gonna try to fill them up pretty full. Probably not gonna use all the rosemary. Every time I say rosemary, I wanna say Rosemary's Baby. I didn't even like grow up during that, but it's just like ingrained in me. So weird. So we're gonna pour the oil into a measuring cup. I'm not measuring it, it's just easier to pour. I've also put oil into, you know, those clear plastic like ketchup bottles? Those are good. So we're gonna pour the oil in, getting it covered, just like you would fill up ice. Ooh, that one's a little full. So we have our herbs inside. We are going to cover this up and seal it. I would say I used probably about a cup of oil give or take, maybe a little bit more. Okay, I have my oils all sealed up inside. I did use the press and seal. Now you can use plastic wrap, but I will say this press and seal worked fantastically. We're gonna put them in the freezer. You could put them in overnight. You can leave them in a long time. The point is they need to be frozen. Now when they're done freezing, not when we're done freezing. It's cold, so I'm thinking about freezing. But when these cubes are done freezing, we're gonna pop them out. We're gonna put them in Tupperware. We're gonna label them so we know what they are, like R for rosemary, B for basil. But I'll show you guys when I'm doing that. Let's do the peppermint and we'll get these in the freezer. Had to get some filtered water there because, you know, my tap water would kill us. Welcome to Florida. Not Flint, Michigan. You know, that would be worse. That looks like I should have washed it first. Again, just like we did with the oil cubes, with the mint cubes and the water cubes, we are going to put the herb in first. You're gonna put a couple leaves in each. You can rip them up if they're too big. Literally, just rip them. Easy way to make mint water, easy way to look cool when people come over. Like, look, my ice cubes, they have mint in them. What? People are gonna be like, I'm drinking that water. You might be one of those weird people that just chew on mint. I'm not brave enough. Not unless it's covered with poison and bubble gum. And again, we're just filling them like you would ice cubes. So easy. Just a little bit of prep can make your life so much fun. Let's not look up and pour at the same time. Definitely thinking about adding a little lemon peppermint. Ooh. Okay, I'm not gonna. But we're gonna seal them up. And we're gonna let them freeze. Oh, just enough. Don't you hate that when you like rip off the aluminum or you rip off plastic wrap or press and seal and you don't have enough and you're like, man, because you can't add to it. You can't add to the aluminum after you ripped it. It just doesn't like piece together well. Oh, the little things in life. Okay, cubes ready to freeze. See you when they're done. It's been about 7 hours for my ice cubes and my oil cubes. So let's check them out. These are the mint ones. They look good, beautiful actually, if I do say so myself. They'll look nice floating in a cup of water, I think. And they'll add just a fresh minty flavor, and my mint won't go bad because it's frozen. With the ice cube, with the water ones, I suggest that you just leave them inside the tray. Leave them sealed up. Whenever you need them, just pop a couple out. Now with the oil ones, let's check these out. We're gonna do a little something different. So the oil ones look great also. I can still smell the fresh herb inside of them. This is the basil on this side and the rosemary on that side, but they look awesome. So one of the best things to do with these are to pop them out, put them in a Tupperware and label the Tupperware. Throw a little masking tape on top, write basil, right back in the freezer. So anytime you need them, if you're gonna cook a recipe, pop these out, throw them in the frying pan, then you have flavored oil, fresh herb flavored oil. This is an easy, quick tip that you can do so your herbs don't go bad, so you're using them more and they're good and ready to go. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe, like this video. I'll see you next time on Keeping It Real in the Kitchen. Bye.